You must have heard about flash floods, but what about flash droughts? A global study has found flash droughts are becoming more frequent due to climate change. Scientists say it's down to a lack of rainfall and a loss of moisture in soil. In our next report, we'll look at how flash droughts are becoming a common phenomenon across the globe.
This badly cracked reservoir bed in Catalonia, Spain, speaks of a wider problem the country is facing: the devastating after effects of droughts. They have inflicted damage on 60% of the Spanish countryside, with crops like wheat and barley likely to fail entirely in 4 seasons. Last month, the country's weather agency said 3 years of very low rainfall and high temperatures have put Spain officially into long-term drought. While Spain's long-term drought is causing irreversible losses to crops, wider Europe as well as parts of East and North Asia and the west coast of South America are suffering a similar problem: flash droughts. A relatively new phenomenon. They develop very quickly, often only in a number of weeks, so forecasters find them difficult to predict.
We normally think about droughts as slowly evolving events that take a few months to start and often last for several months or even seasons. But a newer concept that's been around for maybe a decade or so is flash droughts, which start much more rapidly, and that's why they have perhaps bigger impacts, at least in the short term. And they evolve rapidly because there are sudden deficits in rainfall, in precipitation, but also they're often accompanied by high temperatures that rapidly deplete the moisture in the soil through evapotranspiration.
Professor Justin Sheffield worked alongside the UK's Met Office on a global report which found that flash droughts are developing more rapidly. He says this is due to sudden drops in rainfall and precipitation, as well as high temperatures and loss of soil moisture.
What we did in the studies, we looked at how flash droughts have changed globally over the last 60 years and found that they've been increasing in most places. And we're starting to see a transition between flash droughts that evolve rapidly and the usual kind of slower onset droughts.
The report finds this is mainly due to climate change, and there are many parts of the world which will be affected. These types of droughts will be felt intensely in North and East Asia as well as Europe. With many parts of Europe and the rest of the world suffering debilitating heat waves, flash droughts could and do inflict devastation on farmers and crops, as well as water supplies.
If a drought develops, it takes 3 months to develop or something. It's a slow process, so the crops can probably build up some sort of resistance or prepare to survive. But it's like, and also the same for society. But if it's coming too quick, too unexpectedly fast, then both the ecosystem, the crops and the society will not actually have time. It will struggle to respond or to adapt to the new conditions.
Flash droughts are becoming a menace for everyone due to their rapidly developing nature. Governments and communities have less time to prepare for them, and according to climate scientists, it's wrong to assume that poorer nations are more vulnerable to flash droughts. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.